Welcome back, my beautiful people, to this weekend in review. Can't believe that the month of January is almost completely done. This is the last Monday in January. We've had a crazy month. Lots of acquisition, lots of projects, lots of growth. If you've been following my weekend reviews, you know we've been super busy. So I want to get right into this week's question. This week's question comes from Alex at Alex3462. His question is, I am a new short-term rental operator and I am trying to focus on growth, but my problem is that I'm so bogged down with the day-to-day operation of the business that I'm having a hard time focusing on bringing on new properties. You mentioned in your videos that it's best to hire and or partner up with someone. What are the benefits of us partnering up with you? Great question. So let's talk about what you just, the first part of your question. And I'm glad you're realizing that you can't wear all hats. I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to continue to say it. If you are a business owner and you want to grow your business, you have to delegate, hire, and focus on growth. Regardless of what stage you are in business, growth is number one. You know, if you're not growing, you are dying. So you really need to focus on growth. So let's talk about hires, right? And I don't think you're ready. I don't think you want to hire. I think you want to actually partner up with us or partner up with a company like us. But I want to touch on hires. I've always said you should hire your opposite. And here's what I mean by that. If you're very good at sales, then hire an operations manager. If you're good at operations, then you need to hire someone for sales. That's going to give you some good synergy and it will allow you for growth. You don't want two great salespeople and no one knowing what to do in operations and vice versa. So that's in relations to hire. But in relations to, and to answer your specific question, the benefits of working with us. The number one benefit that you have from working with us is our experience. You're going to be learning firsthand how we operate, how we grew to managing over 200 something properties, not just locally, but nationally and internationally. You're going to have access to our systems and processes. You're also going to have access to our software. When you're brand new and you're starting out, it gets very expensive when you add on some of these software, especially when you're going to be creating your own PMS systems, right? But in addition to that, when you take on for example, a PMS system, it gets expensive, not only in terms of cost, but in terms of time, because you have to learn these systems. You're not going to learn them overnight. It's going to take you some time to learn them. And when you don't have a lot of properties to manage, that learning curve takes longer because you're not going to come across certain things as often as you would when you have a lot of properties. So that learning curve for you is going to be shortened a lot because you're going to be seeing firsthand how we handle situations. If you follow this channel and you follow the weekend review, I always talk about the challenges and obstacles for that particular week and how we handle them. You're going to get first-hand view of that. And again, more importantly, you're going to have access to my staff, which will allow you to grow. We're going to give you the training that you need to grow. We're going to help you and get you focused. Especially, let's assume you decide to work on sales, which is probably, in most cases, most entrepreneurs are very good at sales. Because if they're good at operations, they won't become entrepreneurs, they'll become good number twos. But that's just my theory. So I'm making an assumption here that you're good at sales. So you're going to focus on that, but we're going to fine tune your skills to focus specifically on the properties that best suits you. The properties that best work in your area. So that's a big benefit, and that's what's going to help you when you come on and become a partner with us. Now, the other big plus is that off the bat, with the exception of the initial setup fee, it really costs you nothing to come with us, because I could almost guarantee you that our management fee, our service fee that we're going to be giving you, which is 15% of the gross rental rate, we're going to make that up in terms of your revenue. So whatever you're currently making, I could almost guarantee you that we're going to increase that revenue by 20, 30% more than what you're currently making. And more importantly, the reason why we can almost guarantee that is because I'm almost confident that you're going to increase your growth substantially, which in turn is going to make you more money, which will more than cover the cost to come with us. It's not, what I don't do is what a lot of these gurus do, is they'll sell you a business plan, they'll sell you coaching, but they don't partner with you, right? There's no skin in the game for them, because you're going to pay them regardless. With us, if I'm not making your money, I'm not making money. So there's the biggest difference there. Anyway, let's move on, because I have a lot to cover. So, and by the way, Alex, I hope I answered your question. If I didn't, again, comment below, or if you're a subscriber to my Instagram channel, we can have that chat, or buy me a coffee. We can have more of a one-on-one conversation. All right, so let's go into sales for this week. This week we made gross revenue $30,085.47. Additional fees came in at $8,176.42. Project progress, our Miami property, we bought all the furniture. The furniture is getting delivered on Tuesday. We should have that staged and completely done by Friday. Excuse me. So if you follow my Instagram, if you're a follower of mine on Instagram, you'll start to see the pictures on Monday, and then we're hoping to be live by next Friday. So next week, when I do the weekend review, I'll be mentioning if we're live or not. My property in Georgia. Again, as I mentioned before, we have the designs for the barn. We have the designs for the tiny house. We picked out the colors for the interior of the house. And we now have all the furniture that we're going to buy, or know what furniture we're buying, and we're in the process of buying that furniture. We're hoping to be up there within 2 weeks, get all that furniture, get everything ready to be delivered within 2 weeks, and then we'll be up there for maybe a month, getting everything set up, getting everything situated. As I mentioned, it's a working vineyard, and currently the vineyard has red grapes and white grapes, right? What I want to do is I want to expand it, but I don't know, and I'm probably not going to go with more wine grapes. We're probably going to go with table grapes. In addition, we're definitely going to be adding some fruit trees and specific apple trees. We're going to add avocado. We're going to add pecan. And we might add some additional blueberries and raspberries vines there to that. But that's a little bit down the ways. But definitely when we get there, we're going to be planning and start getting the team together to start expanding the grapes and adding the additional fruit trees. Okay. Team personnel news, nothing to talk about there. The two people we hired are doing phenomenal. One of them will eventually get the full-time position. Upcoming goals and plans, I just gave you our plans for the near future. And our goal now is the following. We, as I mentioned, and if you follow the channel, we've been growing a lot this month. I think we have like 8 properties that we're onboarding. So right now we're going back to slowing things down. We're going back to being more particular on the clients that we bring on. We're definitely not taking full management properties unless the property is close by to another property we have. We're probably not going to take on any new additional full-time management properties. Again, I don't want to increase my staff anymore. I want to focus and optimize what I currently have. So that's why we're not taking on more full-time management properties, but we're still taking on co-hosting properties, right? In fact, we have on the schedule, I think we have 5 possible new clients that we're onboarding, some properties in Melbourne, some properties in Tennessee, 2 properties in Colombia, and I think 1 property in Portugal. So we're gonna be doing these meetings, trying to get these new potential clients on board. If we're a good fit for them and they're a good fit for us, then we're gonna bring them on board. But as we're only gonna be partnering up with them and only handling the operation side of the house, and they will take care of the other stuff. Okay, moving on. Issues and challenges. Now, no major issues this week. One issue that we had, and I'm going to talk about this if I haven't talked about it in other weekend reviews, but we had an issue with a guest yesterday or a couple of days ago, that got locked out for some reason. And when I say locked out, the lock for some reason wasn't functioning. Now, we have an emergency number for them to call, which they called, but it took us a little bit to get back to them because the guy was calling us at 1:30 in the morning. Which the way it works is they notify us, our VAs get the call, they funnel that to the appropriate person, either the property manager or the maintenance person. But again, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's to get these people up, it takes a little bit. What happened in the process of the VA notifying us and or the VA getting hold of the client to let them know what the protocols are, because our protocols is the following. When there's a lockout, our VAs look at the lock to see if the lock is online. If the lock is not online, then we give out the emergency number, which in this case we did. We issued or sent the emergency number for the lock to the guest. The guest either A, didn't see that we sent that out for whatever reason, because it gets sent out through the message board, or B, they got it and didn't bother to try the new number, because in the process we were told, once the emergency maintenance guy called, that the guy broke into the house. The guy ended up breaking a window to get inside the house, because according to him, it was taking too long. He didn't know what to do. That's why that happened. That's why he did that. I have a feeling the guy, again, didn't wait, had no patience, broke the window. Anyways, window's broken. So here's what happens after that. Because, and you as an operator will have a couple of options here, but this is what we do. Now we have to secure that window. We do charge the guest for the window because the lock was functioning. So what we ended up doing was sending somebody there, confirming that the emergency code that we sent was working or worked, and it was operator error, and we documented that because the guy was protesting that he shouldn't be charged for the window. But nonetheless, we charged the guest, and guest isn't happy, and I'm sure the guest is going to write us a bad review, but I'm going to counter that by explaining what happened. And this is an Airbnb guest, so if he writes something negative related to that, then my review staff will call and try to get that review removed. We've had a lot of success, and you can have a lot of success removing reviews, but what they write has to violate the Airbnb review policy. So don't say anything to the guests, because most of them don't know what the policy is, and then they will write stuff on there that will violate the policy and will give you the opportunity to remove it. And if you can't remove it, then for sure you need to explain rebut what he writes in that explanation, so that other potential guests, when they see it and they read it, they can see what actions you took. Anyways, that's the procedure. In addition to that, let's assume that the lock was not working. In our protocols, we also, each property has a lock box with the keys the keys to the unit. So if that lock was not functioning, if that emergency code was not working, and if the guest would have followed protocol, we would have gave him access to the lockbox so he can use the physical key to get inside the house. In this case, that didn't happen because the guy didn't wait. But nonetheless, that's the protocol, and that's what you should be doing. Okay. That takes care of that. I don't have anything else to cover in this video, but if you want to learn more about what to do during certain challenges that happen during the early morning hours of the day, then subscribe to the channel. Buy me a coffee if you want to donate to the channel or you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me. Subscribe to my Instagram, people. I'm telling you, those that subscribe to my Instagram, you're going to get a lot of value. Like currently right now, we have a 20% discount for my subscribers, and they can book any property. And again, when I make this big announcement, you're going to have the ability to get a lot of discounts on travel, period. Love you guys. See you in the next one.